the sun rolling.
When you're with a band, at least you're covered, you know, and you come to a band with your idea, and then they sort of give it their slant on it, and then someone else makes a suggestion, and before you know it, you've sort of got a song. And it only feels like sort of 12% yours. So, but when it's yours, it's personal, and you really sort of feel it. And then you have to sort of sing it and perform it and tell people it's your album and what you believe in. Yeah, it's totally different. Yeah, quite terrifying. Yeah. It's sort of strange because I can remember sitting down to start with, and you sort of have this sort of crazy liberty that you can sort of do whatever you like, and you sort of sit there and you sort of start playing things, and it is really odd because you can go anywhere with it, and there's no one sort of telling you whether it's sort of. So you have to have a lot more faith. But then again, I guess at the end of it, you know it's yours, you know, and you sort of stand and fall by it. We just kept coming to things and saying, well, we want sort of strings here. And we couldn't really think of anyone who we knew who could do it. And then we just thought, well, we might as well give it a try. So we tried sort of bowing guitars, and we tried bowing basses, and we tried lots of different sort of sound things. And each time it just sort of seemed to work out. And so then we just kept going. And as a result, we sort of ended up with a sound, which was the sound which is what it was. And I sort of listen to it now, and I do think sort of, well, every so often I think I'd love to have someone else doing it. But then again, it was fun, you know. It's really fun just trying to work ways of getting the kind of feeling you want. Yeah, I tried to play the violin, which was entertaining. Yeah, I picked up my nephew's violin, and I had like sort of half an hour practice, and then just sort of screeched away for about 10 minutes. And then I realised that wasn't, and then I tried to play the trumpet, and that totally failed. So I gave up on that. Yeah, but mostly we just tried to focus on things we sort of could do, so singing, guitars and sound and stomping and pushing things and slamming doors and just sort of that sort of thing. When we'd played in the band, we'd always been in studios, and I found studios quite intimidating because you generally end up in a glass sort of area, and you can just see the band sitting there the other side of the glass area, and you can just sort of see them making faces when you finish playing things. And I always found that I'd never felt I could really relax and actually sort of, as well as just sort of get through the song, which is sort of what you try and do when you're recording, but actually sort of feel it and emote it. So we just tried to find a place we thought might be really comfortable and nice. And I've been brought up in and around churches, and I'd seen this church right tucked away in the South Downs, and I just went and asked the vicar, and I sort of went in for an interview to see if I was that kind of musician, the one that didn't sort of swear, I think, and was sort of good and sort of nice, and they were really good, and they just let me have the key. And over a period of a year, I just sort of went in and went out and tried it, and it was really easy. It's lovely. We tried to use sort of different spaces to have different sounds, and when we first went in there, it was February, so it was freezing cold. It was about -4, so I could barely sort of sing and play. So some of the tracks, you can just there's all that about it, and you can hear ambient sound, you know, coming through over the top of all the tracks, children sort of playing outside, and it's very sort of the album sound is very located in where it was, and I love that because I wanted it to have that kind of rural, kind of that kind of feeling, you know, to it. So yeah, I love it. People would sort of wander in more, you know. We'd be playing, and the sort of door would open, and someone would sort of wander in, and they'd sit, and then sometimes we did some recording while the minister was there doing Evensong at the front. She just was sort of quietly doing it, and we wanted a little bit about the fields and met these sort of crazy Irish people looking after horses and stuff, and yeah, it was really sort of, yeah, it was lovely. Yeah. It's those sort of memories you always remember to be golden and sunny, and you look back when you're 80 and just say that was the golden period. I'm not sure if that's true, because we did argue quite a lot as well, but it was good. Yeah. That sort of thing, but it was good, yeah. To be fair, I wrote the lyrics and a sort of tune, and I just ran out of ideas of what to do with it. And I only ever really saw it as a kind of poem. And we were just standing around, and we'd finished recording, and we just decided to give it a try. And I was just standing outside by the door, and we had a mic, and we just sort of recorded it just standing in the sort of porch of the church. You could hear all the wind, and it sort of seemed to work. And we did try other stuff. We tried to layer sort of orchestras and violins, and we tried samples, and we tried everything. And in the end, I think the spirit of it was just really simple, and that was it. We didn't have drums, so we sort of ended up sort of kicking the wall and kicking the floor, and just, yeah, lots of different things. It was good. It made it fun to do. We had a good laugh trying to get sounds. And it was just a very personal record about how I felt sort of leading up to that time, the year before, and I just wanted to do something personal. Whatever came out, I wanted to do something that was really personal and all sort of out there. And that's sort of what it was, and whatever came sort of came, really. So it's quite melancholic and sad, I think, but I think I was sort of quite melancholic and sad, really. So that's sort of what came out, yeah.
Unfound.